Hello, world and YouTube, and everybody out there in the universe who might be watching this anytime we are right now. We are at episode 6 of Xiao, or the 24 filial exemplars, or as I will call it, the 24 stories of how to be good to your parents in Chinese lore. Today's episode is 卖身葬母
卖身葬父。
卖身葬父 for your father. This is during the Han Dynasty, and the person we're talking about is Dongyong. Now, for this episode, we need a beginner. We need a little we need a little view. The story starts with Dongyong lost his mother at a young age, so he lived with his father, who also died not long after that. So as he could not afford to give his father proper funeral, he has to sell himself as a slave to a rich man in town who paid for his father's funeral. Okay, one day. Now that's where the story picks up. This is a little different from previous words of narration, but this is actually telling the story, so I'm trying to tell you as I'm going to stop maybe in the middle to translate every little dialogue to be as this is borderline fairy tale for certain people, but here it is. This is where we start. There's no dialogue. This is when he finally buried his dad, when he got his enough money. Remember, he lost his father. This is an angel in the heavens who saw that he was so Xiao. So he came down from heaven, disguised as a peasant woman, and just say, "Hey," finally stop in the road because he's going back to his. He's a pretty girl. Say, "What are you doing? Why are you blocking my road? Let me go." He said, "What is your name? Where's your house? Where's your family? Then I'll let you go." So he said, "My name is Dongyong. I live in Danyang. My Fumu is already dead, my mom and dad, and because my dad, when he dies, doesn't have enough money for the casket and the stuff. I have to sell myself as a slave to work as a slave so now that my dad is finally buried, I can go home to work because I still need to go home and work." So little girl, I have hard stuff too, just like you. Don't know where are you going? Where is your family? So she said, "My name is Little Seven. I came from some village. Um, it's about I came all the way over here, like 1,000 miles to find my family, but they already moved. So now I don't know what to do. I have no place to go." Well, looks like you also is a hard, unfortunate person. If then she said, if you're not, if you don't think I'm, too poor or too ugly, I would like to say what? Would like to marry you. He said, "No, no, no, no. What? You can't say this kind of things. Haven't you thought about this? This is not a joke." Now this animal starts looking at this show. I we just met. How can I marry you like this? And not only that, I'm a slave. I don't own I have to go still go to work. Why would I want you to marry me and go be a slave with me like that?" And she said, I don't look for fame. I don't look for fame or fortune. I'm not worried about little work either. You know, I just see you as a really good person, and I like it. But what? But this is like in the middle of nowhere. Who's gonna witness our wedding? Nobody. We can't get married like this. Who's gonna be like a pastor? Who's gonna witness our wedding? Who's gonna be the matchmaker? well, we can use the tree as the matchmaker, and we'll have all the animals and nature and everybody here as witness for him. What? That tree? That tree, he can't. Okay, how about this? If the tree can speak to me and said he's okay with the wedding, then I will take you as my wife. If he cannot say that, then please let me go. Okay. So the girl said, just go to the tree and say 3 times that you take me as a wife, then okay. If he doesn't say okay back, then I will leave. Really? He said. Yep, really. So he went over there and said, so he started he went to the tree and said, I'm gonna marry this girl, tree, I marry this girl 3 times. And if you have anything to say, please say you're okay with this. I'm gonna marry this girl. He said 3 times that I'll take this girl as my wife. And if you're gonna, then suddenly the tree started saying, "Okay, I agree that you and Xiao become man and wife, and I'm here as the witness and matchmaker." So what? He was like, "This is not happening. This isn't possible. I guess the heaven above does accept this marriage." So he accepted the girl and took back to his master. And his master's like, "What? What? Where did this girl come from? Who is this girl? She's my wife." Wife? But you just look at this contract. You're a slave. You can't have a wife. Look at this. We have our contract. And right now, how can you have suddenly an extra person? You can't have me like feed her. That's not in the contract. Oh, I can work too, she said. I can wash dishes, wash clothes. I can even make silk. What? You can make silk? Yes, I can make silk. Well, since you can make silk, how about I give you 300 rolls of silk materials for you to roll. If you can roll the silk in time, I'll let you guys go home and leave. Oh, really? She said. You don't lie to me. You gotta write it down, write a contract. If I roll 300 rolls within the time limit, then you'll let us go home, right? You gotta write it down so we can be a witness. Okay, I'll write it down. Sure. But she said, "Wifey, you can't do that. There's no way." She said, "Don't worry about it. I got this. Don't worry about it." And he's like, 300. There's no way. They can't even do that in one lifetime. You guys are gonna be stuck here and be my slave forever. So he say, "Hey hubby, look what I did." Bang! She's an angel, by the way. And of course, what? How can you do this? Doesn't make sense. Yes, we did it. Now let's go to the boss and tell him we did it. What? How can you? What? It's like this doesn't. What? 300, right? There it is. We can go now. Are we free? Yes, it's 300. That's right. There's more than 300. We can go home now. Home? What are you saying? He says on the contract, it says 3 years he gotta work here as a slave. 3 years isn't up. Look at the contract. But what? You can't. What? But you said if she make 300 rolls that you'll let us go. But we did. 300 is here. We can go home now. You said that on the contract. You can't forget about that, right? Oh, contract. Oh, yes. Now I remember. Of course. Okay, I remember the contract now. Yeah, I did write it down. Okay, you can go home now. Then they finally let him go home. Now on the road home, he's like, on the way home, and they're like, "We're free. We should be really happy. Why are you so sad, wifey?" And the wifey said, "I'm sorry, Dong I, I, I'm really an angel from the, heaven, and because you're so Xiao, the emperor told me to come down to help you to free yourself as a slave. So now that My job is done. I have to go back up. I can't stay here with you as a regular. What? He said, how can this be? This, but, but, but no. Tell me this is not true. This is not true. No. But don't know. It's heaven's will that our fate is to meet here. But even though I love you, but I have to go back. There's nothing I can do. So don't worry. After I leave, just be good and live a good life. Okay? Okay, baby. Now I gotta go. All right, baby. I'll see ya. And that was it. Poor guy gets to lose his mom and dad. Finally gets a wifey. Well, then again, he was a slave, so he got freed by Tian, the heaven above, sending a nice angel girl as a wifey for a little while to do all that stuff for him. Well, there you go. It's borderline fairy tale. There's actually a town in China called Xiao. It's a shorten of the Xiao Gantian. Xiao Xing Gantian is like your Xiao can move the heavens, right? There's actually a town named after that, and that's where it was named after this story. All right. Okay. Hope you like that one. We will preview our tomorrow's number 7. Episode number 7 is Lu Fu Feng Qing. Deer's milk for mom. Wow. Okay. We're getting Bambi in here. All right. Hope you like that one. I'll see you on the next one. All right.